Hi, my name is Alexander. In this video we will use Tailwind CSS framework to create Angular portfolio website. Tailwind CSS is a utility-first CSS framework that makes it easy to build custom designs without writing custom CSS. Unlike other frameworks like Bootstrap, it doesn't provide a series of predefined classes for elements, such as buttons or tables. Instead, it creates a list of utility CSS classes that can be used to style each element by mixing and matching. Let's start. Create Angular project. Check Angular version. Upgrade Angular version to 19. First, upgrade Angular version to 18. Git stash. Upgrade Angular version to 19. Git stash clear. Check Angular version. Angular version is 19. Open Visual Studio Code. Start application to check that it works. Application works. First, we have to install Tailwind CSS. Open website tailwindcss.com. Installation. Here we have step-by-step guide for Tailwind CSS installation. Install Tailwind via npm. Copy first command. In Visual Studio Code, open common prompt. Execute second command. Second command creates Tailwind config file. Copy content to Tailwind config file. The content array tells which content the Tailwind should be applied to. Add the Tailwind directives to our styles.css file. Remove the content in app component HTML file. Copy and paste this code to application component.html file. Here we use utility classes to build custom designs without writing CSS. On the Tailwind website, we can see an example where the same logo created using a traditional approach, where the custom designs require custom CSS. And using Tailwind utility classes to build custom designs without writing CSS. In traditional approach, we have to create a lot of classes. While using Tailwind utility classes, it requires only several lines of code. Start application. Add utility class to change the background color. In traditional systems, there would be a class that would apply a yellow background color and bold text. To achieve the same result in Tailwind, one would have to apply a set of classes created by the library bgyellow 200 and font bold. On Tailwind side, we can see a lot of utility classes and how it looks like on the web page. For example, background colors, filters, borders, and much more. Tailwind CSS is a free utility-based library we can add to our web application to start styling our UI quickly. We can select and add to our project already predefined components. Some of them are free, some components cost dollars. For example, if you click on footers, get the code, we received a pricing section. Therefore, we can use tailblocks.cc where all components are free. For example, we have 5 footer components. Let's select header. I select the header where the links are located in the center of the page. View and copy code. In Visual Studio Code, add this header. Add new links and change the text. For the links from projects to articles, create components with the same names. Add profile section. To locate text and image horizontally, add class flex. Add classes to div and paragraph elements. Here, width 3.5 means 60% of windows. ML20, it is margin left, where 20 is equal to 80 pixels. MT margin top, MR margin right. To view all possible margins, type in Google Tailwind margin. We see that Tailwind also has MX margins, which put the same margins on the left and right side of an element, or MY margins, which put the same margins on the top and bottom sides of an element. Important note: to avoid mistakes when selecting Tailwind classes for the HTML tags, check what Tailwind classes you can use for that. For example, for width, type in Google Tailwind width. You can see that for width you can use W28, W32 classes, but cannot use W29, W30, W31. For width in percentage, you can use, for example, W16, W26, W36 classes, but cannot use W17, W27, W37, and so on. But typing in Google Tailwind margin, You can check that margins can be 20 and next 24. It means that if we apply 21, 22, 23, no margin will be applied to HTML page at all. For example, try to apply margin 21. No margin applied to HTML page. The same for 22, 23. But 24 is applied. Restore our value 20. So every time make sure that the class you specified actually exists. Add photo to assets images folder. Apply class to image. We can apply percentage to image width and height, for example W15, H15. In this case, image width will be 20% from window size and will change when we change window size. I would like to put fixed value instead. Add created components to app-component.html. Remove router outlet because we will not use router. Add the section element to every component and add the title in the section. The section should occupy 4/5 of the window width, which corresponds to 80%. The title of the section has Indigo 500 background color. Add section with the components to app-component.html. Check application. Components appeared in app-component.html. Select footer from Tailwind footers. Add footer to our page. Compile application. We have to fix one error. Apply Indigo background to the header and footer. Remove button from header. And tail blocks from footer. Apply white color to portfolio. Update classes for the links. Here, updated footer. Instead of last column of categories, add button back to top. Add image for the button to Asset Images folder. To jump to the top of the page, we have to create anchor link on the top of the page. Assign href value to the anchor tag using the ID of the link target, preceded by the hashtag. Test back to top button. It works. Apply the same approach to jump to a certain section on the page using the links on the top of the page. Add anchor links to the components tags. Add anchor link near contacts, for example near the button back to top. Add href with values to the links. Test links. It works. Add the contents to the components. Achievements. Articles. For the certificates component, add images of the certificates to the Asset Images folder. To show the certificates, I use the HTML table element, where in every row first cell occupies 1/5 or 20% of row width, and the second cell with the image of certificate occupies 4/5 or 80% of row width. For education component, add images of the master's degree to Asset Images folder. Add HTML code for projects component. Test application. It works. Let's change margins on the footer. One note, the classes with the prefixes SM, MD, LG are applied based on the device resolution. SM small, 640 pixels. MD medium, 768 pixels. LG large, 1280 pixels. Classes without prefixes indicate a default values. Using prefixes, you can define different classes for different screen resolutions. For example, I want the default MT was 0, and for medium resolution, it should be the same MT0. To download resume from the portfolio website, we have to create download link. A download link allows users to download a specific file when they click on it. Add resume file to Assets Files folder. To convert the link download resume to download link, add the HTML download attribute and specify the name of the file that will be downloaded when the user clicks on the hyperlink. If the value is omitted, the original file name is used. We will use Alexander Kosarukov _resume.docx. Set href to the file's URL. Add the target attribute _blank. The default is current window. Is target equal _blank, the linked document will open in a new tab or on all the browsers, a new window. Test application. Click Download Resume. Resume downloaded successfully. The last thing that we can do to implement the possibility to show and hide any section in a portfolio, as well as to show and hide all the sections to make links work like a toggle buttons. Add click event to projects link. Add projects method to app component. Create private member of Boolean type m_projects active equal false. The project section will be shown when this member is true and will be hidden when this member is false. The method projects toggles between hide and show for the projects section. Create getProductsActive method. Surround addProjects component tag with div element and apply CSS classes conditionally to show and hide projects component. Here I use traditional approach using the Angular directive ngClass. We have an error, cannot bind to ngClass since it isn't a known property of div. To fix this error, we have to import ngClass directive from Angular/common library. Test application. it works. Repeat the same approach for all other sections. Add code to expand all sections and to collapse all sections. Test application. The links toggle between hide and show for the sections. With this implementation, we can show only required section. For example, certificate and articles. Or projects, achievements, articles, and so on. We also can expand all sections and collapse all sections. Check references, articles, LinkedIn, YouTube channel, GitHub. Everything works fine. We have created a portfolio website without creating any CSS class. Instead, we used Tailwind CSS framework. Please remember, every time when you use Tailwind class, check that this class really exists. To find what classes exist in Tailwind for the property, type in Google Tailwind space property name. For example, Tailwind width, or Tailwind height, or Tailwind margin, or Tailwind color, and so on. I have deployed this portfolio website to a GitHub pages. Here how it looks like. That's all what I wanted to show you in this video. Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying this content and would like to see more and support my channel, please feel free to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, have a good day, and bye.